be whether they can fight from behind in a similar instance that BuzzKill were able to do just on that previous map.
Well, here we go. It's the last map-up of this series, and one of these two teams will be taking their grand final spot. Will it be BuzzKill Esports, or will it be Team Endpoint? It's the pistol round. BuzzKill have the defuse and smoke on Hawk. He'll be playing out towards the heaven position, and meanwhile the utility will be on ZNX and Mighty Max for the Endpoint side. The Molotov straight in towards the bomb site with a flashbang to support, and Mighty Max going to try and make this quick as lightning. Lazar into the bomb site. We'll get that bomb plant down towards main. Very quick and easy, uncontested by BuzzKill, but they will go into the retake.
A full 5-on-5 retake towards that A site. This is very dangerous here for BuzzKill because these post-plant positions are so difficult to deal with, especially with limited amounts of utility. Hawk with the smoke and the kit, they're still making slow progress on the bomb side. Of course, time is somewhat on their side in that they have that defuse kit to work with, but these kills are going the way of Endpoint. These post-plant positions are working to a T here for that T side. And Laza is the one that finally dials in the final kill. Endpoint, they take the pistol. They set themselves up for potentially a second round as well.
Yeah, very passive hold there from the BuzzKill side. Mighty Max and ZNX quickly setting up the utility basis as well, making sure that there will be no real delay when Laza came for the push in. And as soon as he got into the bomb site, no kills, nothing. Instantly, the bomb site control and the bomb plant for Endpoint. And then from there, BuzzKill tried to make the retake work, had no flash supports to make their way in because they went for the smoke diffuse on Hawk. That left only the Ninja setup for the BuzzKill side. So Endpoint. Ooh. Getting aggressed on by the BuzzKill side. A good dink on Pulse is going to make it a little bit more difficult. I mean, I thought they had lobby control, but again, Endpoint have been leaving a couple of gaps open in their defensive and offensive lines, and the damage being done to Lodzat and Pulse could be exploitable. JSAV will take down Pulse, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. High up on top of the silo boost as well. You drop the bomb. This could actually be a decent round for BuzzKill.
They've completely trapped
and
them
then
towards
immediately
outside.
it gets shut out, so never mind.
I think, I mean, the SMGs 100% bailed them out in that situation. BuzzKill way more aggressive than Endpoint will have predicted, and in such a way that wasn't the traditional sort of lobby crunch that you'll see in these sort of eco rounds from the likes of that CT side. Instead, it's slow progress out of radio and little to no presence made, no flashes thrown, no footsteps made either. And those early dinks certainly rattled Endpoint. The fact that Hype's able to get himself on towards T-Roof and Silo to flank out those players outside is a bit ridiculous. But Endpoint at least keeping 3 alive, that's the crucial point. Endpoint, though, in this round have been able to get themselves down and towards the lower site so quickly. And Lady might be able to cut off this rotation. Hawk, unsuspecting knife out. Lady misses the shot. Oh no, missing and missing, but eventually tracks him down. The Hype trade is available. JSAV will instead track him down in the end, and BuzzKill, they've at least got somewhat of a handle on the affair. Now Hype finding the bomb as well, they'll have the advantage.
Yeah, Endpoint making their way down through Secret to support their lone teammate. Laney did just about a little bit, but could have been much more confident there. Mighty Max going down, jump face from Hype, will not see anybody else. Pulse will fall to the hands of JSAV instead. And now ZNX is alone in the fence area. And Crazed hears all those footsteps. 3 AK saved by BuzzKill on the first on the board. Good play from Endpoint, you know. Laney's taking a little bit out of Astro's book there, you know. You obviously saw him yesterday and him playing on Nuke and how he always went for the vent dive, always went right down towards the control room and tried to establish B-site control from there, cut off those rotations and potentially take a bit of a backstab against the opposing force. So, you know, in all the chaos, Endpoint have found a little bit of a way in against the BuzzKill side. It's just a shame that Laney missed his entire spray, missed all those shots, took so much damage and got traded so easily. Endpoint did establish that map control, and now BuzzKill looks to establish the dominance. 3 kills, 4 kills for Russ, lining up the force buy and knocking them down like dominoes.
And this is another play that we saw BuzzKill pull off yesterday in their group stage, just going aggressive with Russ with the supporting flashes. It's an ace from Russ. That's the second in this series from him. And a completely shut-out performance. That was a force buy dealt with, but no real damage done there from Endpoint. The immediate pause is called. This time I think it was a technical pause, but should be rescinded shortly enough. Endpoint, that's not the way you want to start things off. You win the pistol, you win the second round subsequently, but in a manner that leaves you sort of scrambling for confidence. Losing 2 players just to USPs, especially at distance when you have the majority of the map to traverse, is certainly not ideal. And then losing in the manner that they did, where Russ is just full-on ace them with an unrelenting aggressive play. I don't think Endpoint were expecting that to come out, especially considering the opponents that they played in the group stage. Sure, there were some good names in there, but fairly weak when compared to our playoff bracket now.
And Endpoint's main issue right now is the fact that they're not anticipating the aggression from BuzzKill.
Yeah.
They're not ready for how aggressive BuzzKill want to go. You know, they've been pushing up towards the outside, going for the backstabs on those ecos. You know, BuzzKill has certainly wanted to take a more active role on the CT side. And, you know, again, Endpoint are going to pay the price for it. And the eco should be easy enough for these rifles to clip up the pistols. Hype. Back up towards secret area in the halls. We catch Mighty Max, get dinged down for trouble, but very little damage done by it because it's a Glock versus head Kevlar. And now Endpoint make the quick rush into the ramp position. One player tries to fall back. Rush to hold an angle here towards Hellwall. Line 2 players up. Knock one down. Look for the second man as well. Connects that onto the 2K. Now leave it up to Praise to take the rest of the damage, to take the rest of the fights. 2 kills for his own right as Rush stays alive. All 5 remain alive for BuzzKill. 3-2 on the CT board. They're going to take that lead, and Endpoint will be up for a bye.
And it's something we praise quite a lot on the side of BuzzKill, is that their teamwork on Nuke has been fantastic so far every time we've seen it. The fact that Russ gets those 2 kills, recognizing as well that he's low HP, immediately backs off, lets Craze handle that position instead. And JSav, although he was the ramp player, he values his position, his rotation towards that B site so heavily that he doesn't even take any fights. It's once again going to be a buy round here for Endpoint, and Russ has gone aggressive once more, even traversing in towards Secret, setting himself up so that if Endpoint do commit outside, he's in an angle that they might not expect.
Outside position taken by Endpoint. Russ is going to try and contest this, but a little bit more passively this time. He's in Secret. And Endpoint are going to go for the Secret smokes as well, I believe. Yeah, all set up towards the red box. A counter smoke will try to come back from the CT forces, but Russ, how much damage can he get done? He's got multiple spray downs right here as he faces. He takes the first man. They all try and scramble. Manic Spray's doing so much damage. Mighty Max takes out Laney in the confusion, and it will be a 4 versus 3 as a result, with extra damage done to Mighty Max. 6 points of health, and Pulse going down towards the outside position. And this has just been catastrophically dismantled right now by the BuzzKill side, in particular Russ. Setting up the TK, setting up the damage being done to the Endpoint squad. And 1 versus 4 there for Laza. It's just not happening. Hype brings the hype and brings the headshot.
Yeah, these were the 2 standout players we saw towards the end of the day. It was Hype and Russ that really started firing on all cylinders for that BuzzKill side. Endpoint, only 2 rounds to their name still, and those all off the back of the pistol round. Will be another sort of force buy into things. CZs galore for the Endpoint side. A bit of utility as well to feign some pressure and maybe draw some rotations on the side of BuzzKill, which I think it will be a pivotal part of their offense, and that they will have done a little bit of homework, I imagine, setting themselves up for this bracket stage. Russ, though, dealing with that initial player in Mighty Max, that's the only presence outside identified and eliminated for the BuzzKill roster. Meanwhile, Endpoint still grouping themselves up together outside of that ramp position. The Molotov flushes them back, though. They may re-aggress in towards A, but now they're going to apply some pressure towards Hawk.
Now we got 1 kill. We'll try back Laney at the very least. A little damage being done by the T sideline. M4 picked up. You can see the AK and the AWP around this corner, so ready for the T side facing Endpoint. We'll drop back down into the ramp position. They've got 1 player to deal with back behind the barrels. I believe that's JSav. Either way, the rotations will come in. Crazy when you're ready for that backstab, and there you go. JSav strikes, takes the first man down, and the second, and the third. Easy as that against the pistols. And BuzzKill continue to roll on with this hype train. 5-2, with a rebuy coming back from the Endpoint squad. The AWP out for Luzzo. We've seen him do some impressive things so far in this map up. Oh, sorry, in this matchup in general. The entire series has been really good from him. How much can he get done out here? It's the first buy that Endpoint have at this stage, and BuzzKill still have 3 AKs to work with, so a lot of this head armor is going to be negated by the CT forces. And in general, BuzzKill just having some really confident rounds. They've not had many players dying at all.
And at the very least, Endpoint need to do some damage. I think you sort of touched on it just there as, and if Endpoint are going to lose this round, at least take 4 players with you. BuzzKill's economy is starting to get a little bit out of control. You've got several players hovering around that 10K mark, and Hawk, although he's not quite as rich as his teammates, is going to have their bank to rely on as well. So, Endpoint, they either win this round, well, they'll have to face up buy after buy on that CT side, or they'll just have to do as much damage as possible. Silver lining in this one is that they've been able to get Laney into a forward position. I don't know that Endpoint or BuzzKill are too clued into this. Hype flushed out by Molotov. He goes 1 for 1, but that's good on the side of Endpoint. They deal with one of the defenders on that A site.
Yeah, the flash molly combo. Hype had no idea he was burning alive until eventually he faced around the corner. Did get a kill on his way back out, and now Craze and JSav can deal the damage and try and finish off the job that he started. Luzza will come up with a trade frag in a 2 versus 3 scenario. And Laney and Luzza, very different positions. I mean, Luzza could get isolated from this bomb if they take him down. Look at Craze right here. He is so ready for Luzza. If he faces around this corner, the AWP might end up falling, but Laney will make his way in through the vents, and Craze ready for both players. Turns on a spray for the man towards Squeaky now against Luzza. AWP around this corner, not ready for the shot. He still connects it and falls right back to the ramp room. Hawk is still on the B bomb site, and he's waiting about. Russ with the AWP will also be holding out towards main. This could all rest on Hawk's engagement. How will Luzza play this? Right down into the bomb site. Smoke up, bomb plant down. Hawk going to spray through it. There's no idea that you can't plant the bomb close towards the ramp. So Luzza getting away scot-free and a little bit lucky this time. Up for the 4K, and Russ and Hawk will move together. Flashbang in through the control room window. We'll give up a little bit of position, but it's a great pop flash, and Luzza does not see the player crossing. Takes his pop shot and gives up his position. So mistake forced out. Counter flash comes back. Incendiary down. He connects it onto Hawk, and Russ tries to stick this defuse. He's got the P250. He's traveling down his rifle. He's going to go close range with his pistol. Flashbang in the other side, and Luzza going to try and face away from it. AWP it closely. Just can't land the shots. Luzza. 4 kills to him, recovering the whole scenario. BuzzKill, a complete mess of a retake.
Yeah, that could have been a lot better on the side of BuzzKill if that, like you said, that little bit of information in that you can't plant quite as close to the ramp as we saw that player spamming through the smoke. He was even on the edge of it as well. He might have been able to spot out a foot or just the edge of the player as you committed towards that bomb going down. But Endpoint finally break the string of rounds. That's 5 in a row now. A round registered in the favor of Endpoint. But as we were talking about earlier, so much money was built up by that CT side, they can invest with no real compromise. The AUGs are out, that's a full scope setup for that CT side, and a lot of long-range engagement angles to sort of capitalize on that fact.
Endpoint. Slow passive stab towards lobby once again, this time for the T side. But on the back of Pulse, and Craze going to start to aggress. You know, he's made some very crazed style plays so far in this one. J-Sav lines up the first 2. Okay, towards the ramp room. Endpoint will make their way in. And again, they're going to line up and not get knocked down like dominoes by the CT forces as Craze makes his aggression work against Mighty Max. Endpoint thrown for entirely out of the loop. Laney around the backstab. They're not ready for this. Could take out Hype. They do drop the bomb for the moment, however, and the CTs have the markup locked. Great trading coming in from BuzzKill at the very end of that round, but it was other than that, just nice kills coming in for the BuzzKill esports side. If we can take a look at how many players have stayed alive in these last couple of rounds, hopefully. No, Dream's not having any of it. It's okay, we can do it over here. Let's have a look. Come on.
Oh,
oh no, it's not working. Okay,
oh.
That's very weird.
Well,
I blame Counter-Strike. Regardless, though, BuzzKill have built up the economy to an extremely good degree. Like, they can rest of the next few rounds to have absolutely every single buy, and Hype is just going to mow them down anyway. Pistols out here for the Endpoint side. It isn't eco. The bomb's been dropped in the CT control. There's no way back into this round for Endpoint.
yeah. Oh, Luzza actually recovers it. Oh, never mind. Sorry, it's Pulse that after the space that Luzza creates off that one Deagle kill, but can't make their way on towards the bomb side. It's Mighty Max that does eventually get himself out towards Decon. He's going to try and line himself up for the backstab. He doesn't want to make the sound cue, so he won't go through the double doors. Instead, will traverse the same path that J-Sav has also navigated. But 4 players still to find after the fact. I think J-Sav has an idea that that's a possibility. Oh, he turns, but Max finds the kill. That allows him to get this bomb now on his back and a rifle to work with as well. He has the potential to wrap back towards that A site, but it's such a troublesome angle to have to clear. There's close fence, the top of hut. There's so many different positions that you could get shut down by, so he will still commit towards B.
Every position, no. Shots locked out, and Craze going to face around that corner, get the spray. Not quite get the kill, but the nade onto his position should be able to do the damage. Body blocks it, it lands right at his feet, and Mighty Max no way out of that one. Nope.
Heartbreaking.
It is kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, Endpoint, they were on the eco. I think they did all right considering they got 2 players, and
yeah.
You know, it does limit the economy to a certain extent of BuzzKill. It means that they don't profiteer so much. It's not quite to the extreme that they've had over the last few rounds, but the economy is still looking fantastic for the CT forces. $10,000 for Crazed post-buy, including AUG is getting rebought down, the AWP staying in play for Russ. And look at Hawk, this time he's going to try and play a Russ as he plays close towards the blue boxes, hearing all those footsteps, getting all that information. This could be absolutely massive, but he's going to just let them cross and try set up after the fact for the backstab.
He's going to be able to get this kill on towards Luzza for free as well. Hawk, he navigates through the smokes and he's able to deal with that player that was holding the flank there for Endpoint. Now they're trapped in. He has all that information. He knows how many players have traversed down towards Secret, but Pulse is potentially an X factor. could allow them to escape from the situation altogether, but Hype springs on through. He takes the wide angle face, and Craze is there for the bait and switch. They draw the attention back and forth, and that's perfect from BuzzKill. They get a response frag in the side of Hawk, but now it's still a 2 versus 4. They'll navigate back towards the A site. There's nobody here really on the defensive, but they'll hold the advantage to try and prevent Endpoint another plant.
We'll still get it out though. BuzzKill not in position to deny this one. The 3 players coming in from Secret will certainly be in position to go for the retake. Russ coming in from Heaven, Incendiary down from Pulse, Smoke up, and Russ trying to see if we can bait in a shot from Mighty Max, get a bit of information on where he's at. As the face comes through, Pulse will take damage, as will Crazed, and Pulse got 3 players to line up here against JSav. The lights coming through. Mighty Max pushing out for Russ. Will spray, will take him down, but just as quickly Pulse has dealt with this, all left to Mighty Max. The 1 versus 3, he's not ready for Crazed around that corner. The defuse will come through for BuzzKill. And again, Endpoint can't quite get the damage that they needed. They can't quite keep these rounds as close as they would have wanted to do. Again, you can see how many rounds have built up for BuzzKill. 5 in a row, then followed up by 3 more from the CT forces. So 8-3, half gained by the BuzzKill squad. And you see the impact coming through from Russ in these last few rounds. 121 ADR for him. Absolutely manic frags coming out.
And the majority of the BuzzKill side are all in double digits. Hawk still on 2 frags, but he's got the most utility damage. He was impactful in that round as well in terms of trapping Endpoint in towards Secret. So having
nice
impact
tag
regardless, but Endpoint a really nice entry to start off this round.
I mean, he's still got a quick scope, Russ. Laney down to 27 points of health just by tagging you in the shoulder. That gives a really, really fantastic way for a trade to come through from the BuzzKill side. Still going to be a 5-on-4 though, Endpoint in favor. No more outside control. The AWP picked up by Hype will try to see if he can scope in and take somebody out, but very little will come through from the BuzzKill squad. As Endpoint slowly wrap around outside. Good flick from Hype. First frag to his name. He's got a little bit more to find against Laney though. Baited in the shot of the shoulder. Make the spray comes through and Hype can't get himself a secondary kill, so Endpoint maintain the man advantage going into the final minute.
Craze trying to plug up the gap that is caused by Hype going down, but Pulse is able to backstab as a result. There is a bit of counter-aggression available in that JSav will be able to rotate away. Hawk could have potentially sat in towards Heaven, but the Molotov flushes him out of position. This might be a situation where you save if you're BuzzKill. Of course, they have a lot of money built up, so there's the potential to go for this, but surely an unwinnable position from this state of affairs. Instead, it might just be about containing and doing as much damage to the Endpoint economy as possible. With JSav going down, Hawk will more than likely cower in fear, set himself up for the save, and a 4th will be registered for that T side.
Yeah, Endpoint. Well.
Oh no.
Oh no, Hawk. Well, he's giving up the ghost. He's going to try to take some damage. He couldn't quite get Lazar this time. If he had a smoke.
Yeah.
If he had a smoke, I would have given him credit to do, but just not this time.
And if that player hadn't double backed from main, I think as well.
Oh my god, that would have been the most ridiculous thing.
He saw the opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunity was certainly there. It all just came down to a couple of unlucky mistakes. I mean, he did try for the smart thing in the end rather than going for a very futile defuse. I mean, going back in to take the kill, take the secondary kill, try to take a positive damage on the board for Endpoint because their economy still hasn't built up. They're still sitting on max loss bonus. Reinvestment will leave with them not a lot of savings as JSav gets the opening kill of this round. Very quick coming out for the Endpoint boys as rotations come in. Russ will take down Lazar, and he's still here on the B bomb site now, supported by a secondary rifle. Both players just going to sit back and wait for Endpoint to make their move because they've gone quick into the early part of the round. They've lost their opening 2, and they're going to fall back and play passive once again.
And JSav has been instrumental in this round position. So many times Endpoint have tried to commit to that spot. JSav gets either 1 kill, 2 kills, but he gets away and he still holds and is able to reinforce that B bomb site as a result. Endpoint have to work from a man down situation. They don't want to commit further through. They realize that BuzzKill will have rotated those additional players to make sure that lower site is secure. Which means Hype will be left on his own to defend A.
On top of the hut, 2 players around this corner. Hype spots the first head, does not see the second man. He has no idea. Still turns around for the spray and does damage to Mighty Max, but Mighty Max wins out the fight. He's got a 1 versus 4 to contend with, though. He heard a footstep over towards the ladder and will smoke up the main area, jump down towards B, but Crazed will catch him off before he gets there. So good, confident 4th from Endpoint. Not a great follow-up from them, though. BuzzKill, a very good CT half from them, and their start being just as good as the rest of their starts have been on this map. So effective there from the CT side. So
this is a bit awkward now if you're Endpoint. They got the pistol round. They give themselves an opportunity to really get things going for themselves. And now BuzzKill have found a way back in on the CT side. Pulse and Laney find a quick set of entries, but it's traded right back. It's the 2 versus 3 now as Mighty Max is slowly being burnt to a crisp, down to 54 HP. But Russ and JSav can't establish too much ground. Russ even peeking a little bit too far out. Laney is the one that delivers the finishing blow. That's a 5th registered for Endpoint. That's about as much as you really want on that T side. You'd ideally want the 6th round. Obviously, you want every round possible, but a 10-5 scoreline is at least respectable on that T side.
I want you to pay attention to this scoreboard right here. Take a look at some of those numbers. You see that there's 4 players posting double digits for the BuzzKill side, versus only 2 that are posting double digits for Endpoint. And look who it is, Luzza and Laney. Those 2 guys have had an incredibly good tournament so far. Laney especially, this series has been great for Luzza. And Endpoint, they're not going to be able to get a victory as a result of this, and they're certainly not going to get a half victory. Good shot from Luzza to start off on Hawk. Nice face around the corner and taking that first CT out of the equation. So 5-on-4 scenario. Pulse down already in secret. Will deal with Hype and Endpoint. Finally looking like they're going to get started in this one. 2-man advantage. BuzzKill, no chance to trade. I say that though. And Russ here with the AWP will catch off ZNX. Good shot coming out, but the flick is better from the CT player. Will fall back to the B bomb site as Craze realizes that he can't get anything done towards the secret cross. And Endpoint will start to bolster the B hit.
JSav is still sitting on the site, so patient as well. Russ is there to take first contact, give some information. The tag as well through the wall. Max is weakened up. That makes things a little bit easier here for JSav. Even if Russ falls, suddenly JSav is set up. Molotov will flush Russ out. This is going to be certain death for him, but JSav now has it all to do. 4 players to find, and he's still cowering on the bomb site, playing it patient, setting himself up in a corner, and this could be instrumental. This could be massive for JSav.
1, 2, JSav with the triple kill. Surely he wouldn't clutch this out! JSav! What the hell was that? 10 rounds for BuzzKill. That was absolutely ridiculous. What the hell have we just seen?
You could see it coming as well. The one angle that you wouldn't anticipate, they weren't sure where that rotation was going to land. JSav, what a clutch to pull it through. This is the BuzzKill we expect on Nuke. This is exactly what we anticipate.
It's funny what you said as well, because you said the tag damage coming in from Russ set up JSav to try and hold control. And you thought to yourself, okay, maybe this might be a bit too far gone. Apparently it wasn't. Pistol round coming in quick for the BuzzKill side as they take confident control of the A-bomb site in a similar sort of fashion to Endpoint. I will elaborate on that point in a moment's time right here, because the bomb plant has come through. They have taken a lot of damage on the BuzzKill squad. And Endpoint,
5v5 retake.
Yeah, 5v5 retake. And Mighty Max have the defuse kit for the Endpoint side. And they're going to go straight in with the first couple of frags out towards main. Craze getting caught off guard by Lenny. JSav there with a secondary trade. 2 kills to his name, just stacking it up to 20 in total. Luzza with a trade back. 3 versus 2. Russ coming in for the backstab, and the CTs have absolutely no idea. Trigger finger itching. He takes out Luzza with Hype still here towards main. The flashbangs will try and support the bomb defuse as it comes out. The defuse kit is still on Mighty Max. The flashbang's over, and he's going to stick the whole 5 seconds to deny. Still potentially. A headshot not going to be allowed in this case. As Laney will deal with Russ, and BuzzKill will concede.
Yeah, Russ needs to have more impact on that flank. That was potentially a huge play from him, even identifying and dealing with Luzza in that post-plant position, but the bomb not planted for him. He needed his teammate to stay alive for a little bit longer for him to get another kill there. Endpoint, they pick up the 2nd pistol round of this game. They did win their T-side pistol respectively, but they had a lot of issues on these gun rounds.
Oh, nice
nade on
BuzzKill. Well, since it isn't the eco round, I did want to just quickly elaborate on the point I was making a little moment ago. You know, obviously that damage can be so crucial, and Endpoint still making those mistakes of facing 1v1v1 over the course of that last round. Not quite as lesser so here on the CT side. They're looking like a coordinated unit one more time, which of course is obviously a big thing for Endpoint to have that sort of coordination. You know, that's the one thing that pushed them over the edge against CEX. You know, and was able to hold their own against the Fierce side yesterday. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, 2 frags for ZNX, however, being pointed out there.
Oh
that's a very low count right there for the Endpoint squad. I mean, against these rifles, BuzzKill's side sort of might look really good as a result. If Endpoint can't get the initial frags, unless they're big guys and Laney and Luzza aren't able to kick and scream their way into the victory in this one, might end up looking like a bit of a far-gone conclusion for Endpoint. But I say that, and the utility damage has been really good these last couple of rounds.
Down towards Secret, BuzzKill go. Laney will meet them here with a Bit of damage on the nade, actually able to mitigate that, hearing the bounce off the wall. BuzzKill back themselves away. They've established secret control, and that means that Endpoint have to be a little bit worried about the B side attack, so 2 players will be committed towards that site, and 1 player in towards the ramp as well. Leaves outside a little bit exposed here for the Endpoint camp. Laza has to hold from range with the AWP, but if he goes down, suddenly they lose all information. It's the patient play, and Laney just jump spotting. That's actually an interesting jump spot to get that initial rotation, maybe even call for more reinforcements on the bomb site as they're going to progress through.
Pulse will take down Craze to begin. Hawk with a trade back on Laza, and look at Pulse coming around for the backstab. The bomb's been dropped in decon, and Laney knows to keep that crossfire set. They have full control of this Endpoint. Hawk tries to make his way in through heaven. The bomb has been dropped though, and BuzzKill needs to make the way back across to recover this. I don't think they got time to rotate towards A, as Russ is dealt with. JSav comes in for the control room, sprays on Mighty Max, but Mighty Max gets the headshot, and Hawk also dealt with towards ramp. Mighty Max with 2, and Endpoint. This is their CT side, and they're starting to look much better than BuzzKill, and I think they might be able to take this lead away in the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think the fact that we point out ZNX as well being having a pretty poor performance. He showed up on Mirage in the second map when Endpoint did actually win their respective map, but he's a potential weak link. You have to look at it like that. If he's not able to find those frags, even sort of fall back and use those positions to a T, then he's very exploitable. They go towards A, they deal with him, but Pulse mitigates the fact that he gets nothing on the defensive. It's a 3 kill from Pulse, but the bomb site has been conceded. That could potentially be a cash injection here for BuzzKill, as it is just the upgraded pistols in the round.
Crazed, looking for a bit more than just a cash injection here. Your max loss bonus regardless here, BuzzKill, so they have a buy up. He's looking for the damage, and they won't get any of it. So 3 players alive, Endpoint stack up. 1 round between them and the BuzzKill squad after such a good performance on CT side as well. Endpoint looking to try and make that a non-factor. 5 AKs from the T's against the full-blown rifles of Endpoint, including the AWP for Laza. Saw some really good stuff from him with his AWP so far in this matchup. He'll be playing towards the outside positions. And look at this, another fast play on the eco. Expect this, the rifles. We've seen BuzzKill make this work before, and they've flashed out ZNX. They haven't accounted for him. They do take him down eventually. So much damage done towards Russ and Hawk. And the CTs are going to fall back out. Are they going to save this?
Yeah. Yeah,
they're going to save this. Instantly quick there from the BuzzKill side. We saw this a lot from their T side yesterday, and now today, they're bringing it in. They're going to take it and make it work against one of the best.
You couldn't have said it better. We've seen this exact same change of pace from that T side on the side of BuzzKill before, and it's caught out not one of the opponents that they faced, but almost every single one. It's what led to so much success on their T sides, respectively. Their ability to adapt and even have a lurking presence in the side of Hawk and I think JSav that we saw previously. So, Endpoint, maybe they have done some homework. They've shown that they are at least they understand some of the rotations of some of the positions that are played by these BuzzKill players on their CT side, but maybe they didn't do so much homework on BuzzKill's respective offense.
I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about on the T side as well with Endpoint.
Yeah.
They weren't expecting the offensive plays in the CT of BuzzKill. And now they're bringing the sheer aggression out here on the T side with not a single player stopping towards that A rush. And it's like, okay, well, it kind of bolsters our point, yo. Straight in towards the nades. Once again, going to sell them on the idea that this will be another rush out of Squeaky. It won't be this time. Endpoint not in position to try and deal with it, but they're still going to go into those passive position regardless. As nades open the Squeaky door, Laza with first contact and gets the headshot on Hawk. Very nicely placed from him. They're still going to burst their way on through. Russ takes down Pulse. The next dealt with towards the rafters of 3 versus 3, and a drive-by from Crazed. Doubles up for the double kill. Bomb still yet to make its way on site. We'll get there eventually, and Hype will get the plant. Nade in from Laney will do a little bit of damage. Actually, quite a lot of damage to Hype. There might be a trade potential coming through here from the CT forces, but it's still a 3-on-2.
Trying to buy as much space for Max as possible, draw the attention of these BuzzKill players in the defensive here on that A-bomb site. They may not actually go for this. There's another Molotov deploying towards main. Max is isolated, and Laney has to just go and save. He's even tagged up through the smoke. That's a parting gift there for the saving player on that CT side. It's going to be round number 12 on the board here for BuzzKill. They're trying to track him down. Laney might not be able to escape. They double peek him as well, eliminating any chance. And a 3-round difference now. Endpoint, they started off this half pretty well with their defensive. They seem to have things going on that CT side, but now BuzzKill have chimed through with a few of their own, a couple in a row.
And now Endpoint have to figure out how to break it. They've seen two very, very good attacks from the BuzzKill side, and we've seen how quickly they can change the pace and change the pressure from the T-side forces. Look at that from Luzza as well. 181 ADR, Mighty Max with 212, and Hawk, although he is bottom of the board for BuzzKill, 167. Like, my God. Oh, wait, that's utility damage.
Yeah.
I'm being a dumb. I can't believe I just...
And I was like, 212 ADR? How does he only have 8 kills? That would have been ridiculous.
So I'd like to let the people at home know that I'm a very big dumb, and I have the big dumb, and I did the big dumb just a moment ago. So see, it would be helpful if the utility damage and ADR numbers weren't so close together. On the board.
That is
I'm going to go ahead and blame Valve for that one again.
Well, we can blame them all we want, but the blame will rely on either of these two teams if they give up the series. It's BuzzKill's story, really, to win this in a 2-1 fashion. They showed such good performances on Nuke. Endpoint seemingly have a tall task in front of them. This defensive is a lot better. They found 2 picks initially. Laney and Luzza, the 2 Ls on the side of Endpoint, have found and continue to have good performances on this map.
Positions they've adjusted to on Endpoint have dealt with the change of pace, but BuzzKill still have access to B, and they will look to get this bomb plant down. JSAV aggressing with the bomb. This is very dangerous. If he loses his pick against Luzza, and Luzza been performing great with his AWP, it's all going to be down to timing. The spray is good, but now he's got to fall back and get this bomb plant down. Meanwhile, Hawk will turn on to Laney, and Hype ready for the squeaky secret push. Alongside the crossfire of Hawk, he'll get 2 kills, and BuzzKill will just hold onto the recovery. A 3 versus 5 to 2 versus 0. BuzzKill dealing with the rotations. Endpoint, a great tactical pause from them, initially starting things off by getting those picks and getting into positions that will deal with the secret rush and the squeaky rush. And they dealt with it initially, but they weren't ready for the B bomb site.
And they weren't prepared as well for JSAV to make that brazen play. Like you said, if he didn't take that peek with the bomb, I mean, he doesn't get that kill towards Luzza. They don't find the advantage in their favor again. But this is again another fast push there from BuzzKill. This is just the pistols that are really there to stop it on the side of Endpoint. But caught off guard once more. I mean, if you're fully anticipating a play like that on the side of Endpoint, maybe you stack towards one of these bomb sites.
Max, the last man, 1v3. Oh, he's spotted, he's tagged up the bomb planter, but so much time on the clock means that the trade can come in thick and fast, and they've got loads of time to spare. BuzzKill, 14-9 on T side. And it's looking like a reality here, Yumi. The reality might be setting in for the Endpoint squad. They could have lost this series. They most certainly might be able to lose this map. This is looking like dire straits right now. Endpoint falling back, trying to find a decent default that defends against the BuzzKill squad. But BuzzKill, they're playing passive of their own right towards outside of Hawks, the far pushed up player that gets in towards main. Pulse has got this angle covered. And look at the first pick. There you go. Endpoint, nice opener, but here comes the hit again, quick from BuzzKill. Pulse dealt with, 2 for 2 trades, 3v3, 2 players in heaven. 1 will get dealt with, but a quick trade back. Mighty Max able to rotate up to Laney's position. All 3 players are stacked up here. The Molotov going to do so much damage, and this is very exploitable. If BuzzKill want to go towards B, they can. They can get this bomb plant, and they can set up the retake.
Max is at least there to prevent much further progression. He's going to be a little bit of a thorn in the side, try and call the rotations over, but Russ deals with him. That's a wonderful headshot to allow the plant through, but Endpoint are now here in numbers. Laney and Luzza both tagged up from the early utility damage, and they're waiting for the response here from that CT side. They're starving them of information, and Russ lands the follow-up headshot. Luzza, 1 versus 2 with the AWP in hand.
Now will be a great time for Russ to pull the rotation. That's exactly what he's going to do. If JSAV waits down at the B bomb site, he can cut off this AWPer, but he's going to opt to go with him. So Luzza left alone. Molotov's up towards heaven. Luzza shaking his head like there's no way this is going to happen. He might not have a say in the matter, though. It's 14-9. BuzzKill up for map and match points if they're able to hold this. And Luzza, he's going to opt against the best wishes of the people here. He's going to go back towards CT spawn. He's going to save the AWP. And this will be 6 rounds for Endpoint to come back into overtime for the semifinals.
This is dire straits to steal the one from you. 6 in a row is what's necessary to push themselves into overtime in map number 3. Just based on the vetoes alone, we could see that this was always going to be a difficult affair. BuzzKill have been stellar on this map throughout the tournament. Look at that string of rounds. Despite the early successes of Endpoint on the CT side, the change of pace, the ability to adapt to how Endpoint are playing, and the number of times that they've been able to capitalize and get those entries on the A bomb site. Either Pulse pulls up a multi-frag or ZNX gets just the one kill, and once again it's ZNX getting entry. Pulse does get one of the response, Luz is there to support, but they lose the A site once more, and it's again the same utility deployed in towards Heaven.
Oh, they're going to keep them away, so far away from the bomb site. This could be the round that ends it off for BuzzKill. And what a round it would be. What a match it would be to beat Endpoint in the semi-finals. Bomb plant down. Flashbangs at the ready for Lazar to try to get the entries together. This has to be the most incredible retake in the world. As Laney forces forward, Herd out, Burn alive, Russ takes one, Hawk takes another, it's on to Lazar. He's been fantastic, the first kill going his way, and two more to find. They're playing passive, they're holding face. As he drops down, it's so close to AWP against Hawk. He'll play a ring of roses, does get the scope onto Russ, but does not get the shot. 16-9, Endpoint are out in 4th to 3rd. It's BuzzKill going to the finals.